The following may not be appropriate for all audiences. I really need to think of a different way to say that. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on the Low Fact Podcast. It's just me and Matt today. I guess Andy had his fill of hanging out with us. And while he's away contemplating the meaning of intentional infliction of emotional distress, Matt and I decided that we would continue regaling you with our lack of intellect and facts whatsoever.
It's got to be done, right?
Sure. That being said, I really don't have any topics for just the two of us.
Really? I wish you'd told me this ahead of time.
I don't think it would have mattered.
In terms of me coming up with a topic. You never know.
Well, if that was the intent of that statement, then yeah, I don't think it would have mattered.
I might have come up with some stuff.
And then again, you might not. So here we are in the same place that we were when we started.
Oh, well, I don't have a topic.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
What's that from?
Gomer Pyle.
Is that a cartoon? Just a cartoon, right?
No, it's with Jim Nabors. It's an old 50s show.
We didn't have it.
Gomer Pyle, he was about the most...
Is he like a Southern gentleman?
He's like the Homer Simpson of Marines.
But does he have a Southern accent? Kind of, right?
Jim Nabors?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Where's Jim Nabors from?
No clue.
Well, you're supposed to be a fountain of information, or a font of information.
Doesn't necessarily mean that information is correct.
But people listening probably believe that it is correct because you kind of pull off the bullshit pretty good.
Well, maybe I should have gone into politics.
Well, that's a pretty good topic.
Let's talk about politics then.
The ability to bullshit.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about the ability to bullshit then.
No, in the context of politics.
You're making me dizzy.
I don't believe, well, in terms of bullshit, I don't believe anything that anybody says anymore. Like, I'm like tired.
T-I-E-D?
Tired.
Oh, T-I-R-E-D.
That's what I said.
No, I heard tired.
Tired? What, you think I'm frickin' from Tennessee or something?
No, I'm from Tennessee, but I heard tired.
Maybe it's because I've been watching all the country.
Like Debbie Harry. The tide is high.
Why is there so much bullshit in politics?
I think there's just bullshit everywhere, but they have a certain agenda.
The agenda being to lie to people?
No, I think the agenda being they want to stay in office and in power, and so they will do what they deem necessary to get that result.
Well, I understand that from a human nature perspective.
You should also understand that from a gut level.
But at the same time...
You should also understand that from a first-person perspective, I would think.
Well, yeah, all of that is true. All of this is true. But if you're going to be elected to the highest office in the land...
Any office.
Or any office, then shouldn't you be held to a standard of having to operate with some morals?
No. I think everyone should be held to the same standard.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And what standard is that? Or does it not matter?
Well, if we're looking for a consensus, either way, I don't think it matters, but I think that there should be a standard that everyone is looked at with.
Okay. So then it would be unreasonable for everyone to be sit there and expecting a politician to behave any differently from themselves.
It would be unreasonable, and yet it still happens.
Well, everybody does it. Everybody's like, well, I elected this person and I expect them to not lie to me. I think.
Well, I think in order to reasonably hold that position, you should also be a person that does not lie. And that's impossible. We all lie. And, I guess as a group, the community has decided what lies are, or what kind of lies are acceptable and what kind of lies are not.
The lies that are acceptable are the ones you can get away with.
I don't know. I mean, I haven't really thought about it that far, but there, in order for any society to run, the lubrication is lies. How are you? Good. Why is the sky blue, Daddy? Well, okay, you're 2 years old, and I don't know. So, I'll just make something up.
Why is the sky blue, Daddy?
But then there are the big things, and, I kind of look at it like, like that show Cops, or any movie, where somebody, well, this is a tangent, but, why you would sit there and release your interaction with the police for a national television show is beyond me. But
yeah, because all those people have to have given their permission, right? I mean, if their face is on camera, they've given their permission.
But the idea that when someone is, like, there's a check and, a search of someone's car or a purse or something and they find drugs, the first thing everyone always says is, that's not mine. Now, I'm not going to go on to the legal ramifications of that statement because I'm not into giving free legal advice, no matter how bad it is. No, it's good legal advice. But, everybody's always like, oh, that's not mine, or I didn't do it. Well, why is it okay for you, Joe Schmo, and not okay for Joe or Schmoer, who has more power and more everything, to sit there and say, I didn't do it? The thing that always gets me about the voting public is that we demand our politicians to lie to us. And when we catch them in a lie, the immediate reaction from the masses is, I don't believe you lied to us.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes, like, all the time.
Well, it really just kind of makes me go, lie to me, lie to me, lie to me. Someone lies to you. I don't believe you lied to me. Like, was it a dare then, or?
Well, here's a question. Do you think it was always like that? Like, throughout history?
I can't say for certain, but I believe it probably was.
So you don't think that morals have been eroded over time? You think that people were always the same?
I think what the community has or is willing to accept has become greater. I don't think that there's been an erosion of morals. It's what we've decided that is acceptable has kind of increased.
I think, well, yeah. Or it's just apathy.
Same result.
People are just like, ugh, like, I'm just switching off.
Same result. It's there is the acceptance. I mean, at one point it was unacceptable, community-wise, to be sexually promiscuous. People still did it.
You can say on the sly.
Well, yeah, because they had to, because it was unacceptable. Now the line of acceptance has gone farther, and so people are almost brazen about their sexual promiscuity, especially women, right? At a certain point, many, many years ago, hell, even up to a generation or so ago, yeah, it would be a generation or so, it was really unacceptable for women to be considered sexually promiscuous. It still kind of is. I mean, what's one of the more unacceptable things to say about a woman? You're a slut.
Yeah, still.
Yeah. So, but there are more people being a little bit more open about their sexuality and their satisfaction of it, that, premarital sex isn't looked upon as negatively as it used to be.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty much, well, I don't know about in other societies, but I think in Western society, it's pretty much accepted now. Or at least, speaking for growing up in New Zealand, it's accepted. So,
yeah, I don't think that there's been an erosion, per se. It's just there is greater acceptance of what we're willing to, we as a people. Now,
that's
the other question is that acceptable? And we can do that next time.
Thanks for tuning in. And I guess Andy will be back in a few episodes. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram at Low Fat Podcast. You can email us. Please email us, lowfatpodcast@gmail.com, or you can just search Low Fat Podcast and find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and YouTube, or wherever else you pick up your feed. Thank you.